just a moment. It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, welcome back. The first half mercifully coming to a close. I'm Ernie Johnson. Kenny's here. Shaq is here. Victor Oladipo putting in some incredible work. He had 13 points and 2 rebounds. And Kenny, what'd you think about what we saw from Indiana?
Their perimeter shooting has made the difference, and so many of their points are coming from long range. They've come out, spread the floor, and executed their jump shooting game. It's been a barrage from the three-point line. Guys always finding the open shot. If they can stay hot from three-point land in the second half, this game is over.
Shaq, what was your takeaway on Washington?
Their field goal percentage reminds me of Kenny's breath. Brutal. Not reading the defense, not getting enough quality looks. They need to make major changes because the system they ran in the first half was not working.
Thanks for joining us, folks. We're now just a few minutes away from the start of the third quarter.
Back with the start of the fourth quarter.
I like the fact we get to see this pass one more time. A magnificent feed, and you love to see your off guard taking over the playmaking duties with this much skill.
And to me, Jay,
and now let's present our Jordan Player of the Game, Miles Turner.
Yeah, and his percentage from the field tonight seems almost made up. I didn't think it was possible to have that kind of success shooting the basketball. You need a little bit of luck, a bunch of hard work.
For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for tuning in. We'll see you later. It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Greetings, friends and neighbors. One half down, another half to go. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith. It's the NBA on 2K Sports. Big-time play throughout the first half for Jimmy Butler. He had 13 points, 4 assists, and 2 rebounds. Let's start with you, Shaq. What'd you think about the 76ers?
I think we really saw the evolution of Jimmy Butler. Over the years, his skills have caught up with his great athleticism in the prime of his career now, making this case of one of the best wings in the game.
Kenny, what'd you think about Detroit?
Well, I think they could be way more physical than they have been in the first half. Their defense gave up way too many easy looks, and that kind of defense will turn to a loss any night.
And that's a wrap. With the third quarter approaching, we now send you back to Kevin and the crew.
And it's led to a terrific field goal percentage. Back to the action after this word.
Just true artistry right there. I mean, great decision on where to go with the ball, and how about the perfect delivery?
Execution. This is what you practice
That'll
every
do it
day.
For now. For Greg Anthony, Steve Smith, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the 2K Sports Halftime Program. I'm Ernie Johnson. With me are Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Please, a hand at home for them. clapping for yourselves.
Oh.
Boston found themselves in a close game in the first. At the end of the period, they held a 2-point lead. The second quarter was a tight battle, but they were the slightly better team. Not by very much, however. Kenny, what's your take on Boston so far?
I was super impressed with their shot selection. I think that was part of the strategy coming in. They wanted to be patient with the basketball, move it around, and get high percentage looks. Obviously, that's going to be big.
Shaq, how do you think New Orleans played?
I love it. You know why I love it, Ernie? Because they're getting the ball inside and converting, not just sitting back behind the line shooting threes. See, that's kept the defense scrambling a little bit, unable to lock in on anything. Get it in, we'll kick it back out, then you shoot it.
That's all for now. Say goodbye to the folks. Thanks
Goodbye,
for
folks.
joining us. Third quarter, just about ready to begin.
For Boston. He was a true standout at the offensive end, both with his scoring and his passing. We come back right after this.
Yeah, an easy choice tonight. Look at the precision on this pass. Put it on a platter for him.
Well, there's a way to break down the defense with the handle, but you can do it with the pass threat. Priming defensively, he could be a little bit more active.
And now let's present our Jordan Player of the Game, Kyrie Irving.
And in terms of his shooting, this has been one of the more accurate performances you'll ever see. I mean, he's been in constant motion, creating a lot of good looks for himself. But still, even when you're wide open, you expect to miss some of the time. That has not been the case.
For Brett Barry, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Have a great evening.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hi again, everyone. I'm Ernie Johnson, sitting alongside the Diesel and the Jet. Welcome to the halftime show on 2K Sports. Zach LaVine was the man in the first. He ended up with 17 points and 1 steal. And Kenny, what did you think about what you saw from Chicago?
Well, they've gotten to the line tonight a lot. Basically, they're saying, I'm going to take it to you, and the only way you can stop me is to foul me. But here's the thing. If you're afraid to sacrifice your body, you'll never pick up a lot of free throws. So great job in the first half.
Shaq, how do you think Sacramento played?
Well, those second chance points are huge, and they only came because of their effort. Their work on the offensive glass is what's keeping them in the game. They definitely should try to continue to stay tough on the glass. It's been key so far.
And that's a wrap for our halftime show. The third quarter just about to get started.
Easily in this one. Back to the action after this word.
More aggressive offensively and try to improve that skill set. But his mobility is so desirable in today's game.
Lopez, he's checked in for Carter. And a change for Sacramento. Barnes, he's checked in for Bagley. Of our terrific 2K Sports crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. We'll see you later. Very confident, shooting the ball with great efficiency and dictating the pace. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Greetings, friends and neighbors. One half down, another half to go. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith. It's the NBA on 2K Sports. It was a big-time first quarter for Giannis Antetokounmpo. He had 23 points, 4 rebounds, and 1 steal. Kenny, your thoughts on the Bucks' first half?
You know the Greek Freak. Every year, he seems to take a step forward. The shot looks better, his body is filled out, and he can bang inside whenever he wants to. But what really impressed me in the first half was his leadership. And he controlled the game, and he controlled his teammates.
Shaq, how do you think Cleveland played?
Way too soft in the paint defensively. They were all late on their rotations. Obviously, that's a recipe for getting cooked. You know, I like eating that barbecue chicken. They got to do better, Ernie.
Thanks for joining us, folks. We're now just a few minutes away from the start of the third quarter.
Moments away from the start of the fourth quarter. Stay with us.
Just true artistry right there. I mean, great decision on where to go with the ball, and how about the perfect delivery?
We call that, Greg, putting it right in the pocket, and he knew what to do with
Our
it once
Jordan
it was
player
there.
of the game, Giannis Antetokounmpo.
And what an amazing ball game we've seen from him. It's been a one-man show worth the price of admission all by itself. There wasn't anything he couldn't do on that court tonight.
And this is exactly what a star player is supposed to do. Coming off a loss, he made sure they weren't going to make it 2 in a row. For Dorisburg, David Aldridge, Greg Anthony, and the rest of our terrific 2K Sports crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. We'll see you later. With 9 points in the quarter, the D is having all sorts of problems with them. And we've got more NBA action on 2K Sports coming your way after this break.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello, folks. Good to have you back. Ernie Johnson with Kenny the Jet Smith and the Big Diesel, Shaquille O'Neal. Welcome to the NBA Halftime Show on 2K Sports. Utah found themselves in a close game in the first. They never dug too deep a hole for themselves in the first period. The most they trailed by was 5. If you look at the second quarter scoring, they had a small edge. They really hung tough as we got close to halftime. And, Kenny, what'd you see out there from the Jazz?
Well, their reserves showed up tonight, not just on hustle plays, but in points. And that's what you got to do coming off the bench to maximize your minutes.
And now, Shaq, let's get your opinion on Oklahoma City.
Well, their perimeter defense is falling apart. Guys aren't fighting over screens, closing out on shooters. I mean, you know, when you're playing a team that gets this hot from behind the arc, you got to body up on the shooters and try to close them down. Their defense needs to extend outward in the second half.
And that's a wrap. With the third quarter approaching, we now send you back to Kevin and the crew.
Underway.
He's always been the favorite to bag this honor. These kind of feeds are his bread and butter.
Doesn't happen with every point guard in the league as far as setting your teammates up. Lots more scorers now, but right there creating the scoring opportunity. That's going to be interesting when that does happen. Obviously, the type of mark that Yao Ming made in the NBA, it's going to be hard for anybody to match the kind of impact, not just in the game, but what he did globally for the NBA. It just won't happen again, but I'm looking forward to.
That'll do it for now.
Just
for Brent Barry, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, This is Kevin Harlan along with our 2K Sports crew, thanking you for tuning in. So long and good night, everyone.
The mindset.
Offense, the order of the day as the first quarter comes to a close. Mavericks ahead. They lead by 5. And we'll be back with you for the start of the second quarter when we return.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, folks, welcome back. Ernie Johnson alongside the Jet. That's Kenny Smith. The Diesel, that's Shaquille O'Neal. A lot of big-time action so far in this one. Luka Doncic has been the story in this one. He had 12 points, 2 assists, and 1 steal. And Kenny, what are your thoughts on how Dallas played?
One guy that really stood out, Luka Doncic. I would say in terms of readiness. Here you have a young guy who's stronger than he should be at his age and more developed in terms of skill. Offense, defense, doesn't matter. His game is defined and it's complete.
Shaq, what'd you think about Orlando?
Well, a lot of their points came in transition. They dictated the pace of the game. It was a fast pace. Put the defense back on its heels. I say keep attacking the second half. Do not slow down.
Thanks for joining us, folks. We're now just a few minutes away from the start of the third quarter.
With the start of our fourth quarter coming up next. Is our Jordan player of the game, Luka Doncic.
And he's up over 50% from the field here tonight. And that speaks to how solid his shot selection has been. Nothing forced and really no bad decisions. Just good, smart, offensive basketball.
After 2 straight losses, they switched it up a bit tonight, giving him a much bigger role, and it's worked out even better than they could have hoped for. It's Kevin Harlan thanking you for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. We'll see you later. Leading by just 1. And we'll get things started in the second quarter when we return.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to 2K Sports, the halftime show. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith. Boy, we have a lot to discuss. A pretty close game for the Nuggets throughout the first quarter. The game was always within a fairly narrow margin, with their largest deficit of the period being 6. In the second quarter, they were easily the better team. The points started coming for them in bunches, and they built a 6-point lead by halftime. Kenny, your thoughts on the Nuggets' first half?
You can see where the priorities are. Rebounding, and then more rebounding. They made a concerted effort to get the glass cleaned.
And Shaq, let's get your input on the Grizzlies.
You know, they didn't play it too safe. They made some really nice shots. Those are some much-needed points, and they keep them right in the game. As long as they stay on the same page and keep working together, they got a great chance to take control of this game.
That's all for now. Say goodbye to the folks. Thanks
Goodbye,
for
folks.
joining us. Third quarter, just about ready to begin.
Stay with us.
And definitely deserving of the prize tonight. How about the read he made here? Looking like a point guard, putting the pass right on the money.
Oh, beautiful feet. Always a luxury to have a big man.
Jordan
who can
player
see
of the
whole
game,
field.
Isaiah Thomas.
And the decision-making tonight has just been outstanding. If the shot hasn't been there for him, he's just kept the ball moving. And that patience is how he's gotten his field goal percentage to almost 60 here tonight.
Tonight, folks, for our broadcast, for Chris Webber, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. No shortage of offense. Clippers lead by 5. 2K Sports back to Phoenix after this.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, everybody. Tremendous first half. Glad to have you back. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith. Big-time play throughout the first half for T.J. Warren. He ended up with 17 points, 3 rebounds, and also 3 steals. His last game out, he was just not himself. But tonight, he has rounded right back into form with a very solid first half. Kenny, let's start with you. What did you think about the Suns?
Well, I like that they're aggressively going to the rack. That establishes an attitude, a certain toughness. They just need to stay committed to their game plan.
And over to Shaq. Now your take on the Clippers.
Well, the reserves came in and played like starters. Gave them some big points off the bench. It'd be no surprise to see them get more minutes in the second half. They definitely deserve it. Though sometimes when you get more minutes, you get exposed. We shall see.
Thanks for joining us, folks. We're now just a few minutes away from the start of the third quarter.
Don't go anywhere. The final quarter is coming up next on 2K Sports.
Just true artistry right there. I mean, great decision on where to go with the ball, and how about the perfect delivery?
We call that, Greg, putting it right in the pocket, and he knew what to do with it
Player
once
of the
it was
game,
there.
Devin Booker.
And it's been a terrific night for him in terms of the scoreboard. They've run a bunch of sets for him, and he's continued to come through. Scoring as well as he has, it's taken a lot of pressure off.
For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for tuning in. See you later.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
After one half of play, it's been a one-sided affair. Hey, everybody, welcome back. This is Ernie Johnson alongside Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Kevin Durant was on fire in the first half. He had 16 points, 4 assists, and 1 block. Taking a look at the Warriors, Kenny, what'd you think?
Well, KD owned the first half, but we suspected that might happen. He's had everything he's needed to be great for a long time. But that first championship, it just gave him more confidence to the best player possibly on the planet.
Shaq, what'd you think about Minnesota?
Not pretty to watch how they get torched in the low post, Ernie. When they were playing defense in the post, you know me, Ernie. Barbecue chicken alert, barbecue chicken alert. This team is going to have to up the pressure, play more physical in the second half, start a fight, throw some bowls, let's go.
And that'll do it for our halftime report. Stay tuned for the second half, about to get underway.
Get ready for the fourth quarter of action when we return.
Today, the big fella here with the sweetest of dimes. What a plus it is to have a post player who's got this ability to find.
You know, anytime a guy's in the post and the teammates know he's unselfish.
That'll do it for now.
Great play.
For Greg Anthony, Brett Barry, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. So long.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello, folks. Good to have you back. Ernie Johnson with Kenny the Jet Smith and the Big Diesel, Shaquille O'Neal. Welcome to the NBA Halftime Show on 2K Sports. What a start it was for Brandon Ingram. He ended up with 15 points, 2 assists, and 1 rebound. And let's get your thoughts, Kenny, on the Lakers.
Well, their ball movement was phenomenal. Now, they're in good position to win this game, in large in part because of those assists. And this is the thing, Ernie. When you win as a team, you feel better about everything that happens.
And Shaq, your thoughts on the Heat?
What impressed me the most was the effort they put into the offensive glass. The second chance points really added up for them. Fighting through box outs, battling for position, they owned the offensive boards.
And that should do it. With the second half about to begin, let's send you back to Kevin Harlan. Go back to Kevin Harlan. Go. Just go over there.
Of fatigue, and we'll be back with you shortly.
To the foul line.
And now we get the chance to present our Jordan Player of the Game, Goran Dragic.
And the way he's made his mark with his work inside, he's just been a slasher tonight. Always moving, getting to the basket at will, and just seemingly taking advantage of a D that was reluctant to get in his way.
And on our sideline, our reporter, David Aldridge.
Thanks, guys. I got a chance to hear what Luke Walton was saying to the team. He
For
does
Clark
not
Kellogg, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan along with our terrific 2K Sports crew, thanking you for tuning in. And we'll see you next time.